Greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Odette Guzman and I am a nail tech and also a nail tech educator based in Puerto Rico. I am so excited. I have to say I am so excited to be here again. This is my third video on YouTube. I'm so excited. I even put my makeup on just to do nails. I have been on YouTube for about 2 weeks now, and I have 71 subscribers, and I'm so excited. I know there's gonna be more to come, so I'm gonna invite you at this time to please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And there's gonna be a lot more neat little things coming up, I promise you. Today I'm going to be doing a full set of white acrylic on one of my regular customers, and it's going to be quick and it's going to be easy. So let's go. Wait, did I forget to mention? I am so excited to be here. Let's go. So here we go. I have already prepped my customer and I have put on the tips, and I have also put dehydrator and primer on her nails before I began. So I'm gonna just start the application. Today is a regular Wednesday afternoon, and I just went ahead and put a camera stand and a phone, and I put my phone there and I'm just recording as I'm working. She wanted something really simple. She brought me a picture of somebody with a white acrylic, and she had some like iridescent glitter. You can't really see it in the video, but I just took an acrylic that I had, white, and I added the iridescent little dusty glitter that I got from a craft. I got a whole set of glitters. I have like every color in the world from a craft store here in Puerto Rico. So, as you can see, I used the one ball method. I like to use this method, and it took me a really long time to learn it, to be able to control the acrylic and to learn the consistency of it. So it took me a while to learn this, but it's a really quick way to lay your acrylic, especially when they have short nails. I think this customer was in and out in like 30 minutes. And my brush, let's talk about my brush. Everybody always asks me what size it is, and it's a size 20 brush. Just call me Becky with the big old brush. Oh yeah, Becky with the big old brush. Yes, I use a big brush. I'm really used to it, and I just can't change. As you notice right here that I'm removing excess acrylic from the bottom of the nail. First of all, I like to use a pearl that's big enough to cover the whole nail. And if I have to use a little bit extra, I will use a little bit extra and just cut the end off like that. Usually, when I'm doing nails, I will leave that piece on the bottom, go ahead and do the next nail, and it's even easier to take off once it's a little bit more dry. But I'm scared of y'all on YouTube over here, so I try to get it off before anything happens. But honestly, it doesn't dry that fast. And since I really cut it really well, like you're gonna see on this nail, like at the bottom, I cut it. It's completely cut. Even if that got completely dry on me, with like one like if I just pull it a little bit with a nipper, it would just come off because it's not attached at all. It's cleaned on the sides and it's clean on the front, so it's really easy to take that off. And the dryer, if it's a little bit drier, it's even easier to take off. I mean, I'd rather have extra acrylic than not enough. On this nail right here, you're gonna see the thing that I hate most in the world. When I don't have enough acrylic. I mean, I'm trying to pull this ball, this pearl down, but I'm just shy like a little tiny bit on the end. So I'm gonna have to go in and, just fix these edges up. I hate when this happens. I want to just go with one pearl and that's it. But this happens sometimes and I'm going to have to go in and fix my little edges. Not a problem. And I love how these look on her because she has like the perfect nail bed. She has a nice little square, round nail bed. It's like wide, but not that wide. So even though I have this, I use a big brush, I really have learned to manipulate it to where I can do small, really small things with it. It's just a matter of getting used to the brush. I mean, different people use all different sizes, and I don't know. This is what I use. This is how I do it, folks. I don't know if you can see there on the bottom of that thumb, the nails appear that I put a lot of acrylic on there, but I don't. Oh, good note. See this finger? I'm going to be putting some like chunky glitter on. On the first nails that I did in white, I did not put clear underneath because white acrylic is a basic powder and it sticks to the nail bed. Chunky glitter does not stick to the nail bed as well because it has a lot of glitter in it, and glitter is not acrylic. So all of the parts where the chunky, goodness gracious, all the parts where the chunky glitter would touch the nail bed, it will not stick, so it has a good chance of lifting. So on the chunky glitter nail, I put a base of clear acrylic so that, the clear acrylic can stick to the nail bed and the chunky glitter can stick to the clear acrylic. I'm having a tongue twister over here. I'm having a hard time talking. I don't know what's wrong. Anyways, on the white nails, I don't have to put any, clear on the bottom because white acrylic, clear acrylic, pink, the covers, like the cover nude, the cover beige, all of those acrylics are like base acrylics and they all stick to the nail beds. But when we talk about like colored acrylic, like heavily pigmented acrylic, that acrylic has a lot of pigment, which is not acrylic. So it may have a chance to lift. It may have opportunity to lift. So under colored acrylic, I do use a base acrylic, like a clear. But when we use white acrylic, we don't have to put a base acrylic because it is a base acrylic. I hope you guys understood me. I had a really hard time getting that out. So Now we're gonna go in with a file. I'm just, I try to lay the acrylic as perfect as I can so I don't have to do a lot of filing. So right now I'm just, just detaching the sides. Sometimes a little bit of liquid or acrylic sets into the sides and I just want to get my shape in. So I'm doing a little shaping on the sides and making my nails really square because my customer wants her nails are really square. Now that I'm looking at this video, I'm considering not having my nails so long because like I'm getting all tangled up. I think you see my nails better than the customer's nails. I'm taking light away from the star of the show. What do you guys think? Leave me some comments down below about what you guys think. If there's anything that you guys want to see the next time. Okay, I'm only doing one hand, so in between each hand, in between each step, I did the other hand. So one hand was dry when I did the other one. So I'm only doing one hand so I can speed up. But from the time that I laid the acrylic to the time that I started filing it, I did the other hand off camera. So make sure you guys leave enough time for your acrylic to dry. And now I'm going to be going in with my fine grit sander band. I want you to know that my machine is going so slow right now. Like sometimes people on YouTube videos tell you, oh, put this speed to 3,500 or put the speed to 8,000 or put the speed to blah, blah, blah. And my machine doesn't have all those numbers on it. It just has little slashes. So let's just say that on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the machine is off and 10 being on the highest speed that your machine can go, on a level from 1 to 10, my machine is on like a 3. I'm almost like the machine is hardly just turned on. I don't really need to file that much or carve into the acrylic. So I don't use a high speed. And also I'm like blind. So I will cut people if I go fast. And when I'm going slow, I can really get a feel for where the excess acrylic is at. And I feel, you see how I do it with my thumb? I feel it a lot. And when you feel it with your other, with your finger, you can feel better than you can see, believe me. Or at least me. I don't know if I'm like blind and I'm using my other senses, but I think this will work for good seeing people, with good eyesight. So I would suggest that when you are filing your nails, that you feel it so that you can see if there's any excess or bumps on it. You see that I go over it a lot of times, but it's just because the machine is going so slow. I use my machine for almost everything. I hardly ever use a hand file. I know how to use a hand file, but I'd rather not because, I don't know how other people do it, but if I hand file one finger, my arm is trying to fall off. I really don't know how people do it, but I can't do it. They have electric drills and I take full advantage of it. I have learned to do almost all my filing. I mean, except for the, the sidewalls and the shape on the front. I do all of my filing with the electric file. And even if they're long nails, I'll do some long nails here one day. I'm just getting started, y'all. One day I'll do some long nails, and I also do like the filing steps and the way that you will file with a regular file. I do that with the electric file. I mean, there's no need for me to hurt myself and work extra when I don't have to. I'm getting up there in age. I'm trying to work smarter and not harder. I'm just sitting here thinking. Right now, I'm getting started with my channel, and half the people that I have on my YouTube channel right now that are supporting me are people from Puerto Rico, people that know me from here. And I feel so bad because half of them can't even understand what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people in Puerto Rico speak Spanish, but a lot of people in Puerto Rico speak English, but the main language here is Spanish. And I feel bad. I'm doing this channel in Spanish, and I'm sorry, all of my peeps. I'm so sorry. I'm doing my channel in English because more people in the world speak English. But hopefully, once I start to get rolling, I want to do, my videos in English and in Spanish. I mean, half of my family don't even understand what I'm saying. Okay, so this is the one that I had to do the patchwork on. I hate the patchwork. That's why I'd rather have a little bit on the end and cut it off than be patching up. So now I'm gonna do my level and buff. I don't know if that's still a term. I started doing nails in the early 90s. So level and buff is just, I'm going with my buffing oil, and I'm going in with a bit that is a ceramic bit that is fine. It's super fine. It's almost buffing the nail, but it still leaves a texture on there so that when I go in and put my top coat on, it won't come off. So I don't actually use a buffer on my nails. I use this, which gets it pretty, gets all the scratches and everything off, but it still leaves a texture on there. So back in the day, this used to be called a level and buff. Well, back in the day, you used to have to put the buffer because we didn't have this, gel top coat. So after this step, I would have used the buffer. But since the gel top coat needs a little texture to stick to, I just do this level and buff, and then that's it. I apply the top coat right on top of this. In this part, I'm just making sure everything's, kosher, everything's smoothed out, and everything is level that, my acrylic was sealed when I laid it, but right now I'm just making sure that it's flush to the cuticle area and that I have a nice shape that it's growing out of the nail bed. Let me tell y'all, this talking thing, it is not easy. I mean, I know a lot of my vocabulary, my nail vocabulary, but when you have to speak on video, it's difficult to find the words. I mean, I had a tongue twister thing going on a little while ago, and now this, I can't find my words. You just need for the cuticle area to look flush to the cuticle area. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. You guys see what I'm doing. You understand, right? Okay, so now, like, I'm gonna pass a buffer on the bottom just to make sure that the corners aren't gonna be cutting the person. But let me tell y'all, this file, I just found this buffer. I found it. It's a really rough looking buffer. It's like a 100, 180 grit, but I love it so much. And I usually buy these same buffers for years. But this time that I went into the store, they had the same buffer and it's the same name and the same everything, but it had a different texture to it and I loved it, but they only had one. So I bought it and it's gonna be, you know, going in the garbage soon, and I'm so sad. I wish I could get more like it. So she went and washed her hands, and now I'm putting so I'm just cleaning it off. Even though they washed their hands, I clean it off anyways with a little bit of alcohol or gel cleanser. Now I'm gonna be applying a top coat. It is a non-white top coat. Those are the ones that I like to apply when it's right directly on top of material. Like if it's gonna be going on top of, just the acrylic like it is now, I like to use a non-white top coat. And I'd like to take the opportunity now to ask you to subscribe to my channel, and there'll be a lot more, goodies coming up in the future. I have a lot of good ideas to share with you. So I'm going to be leaving a picture of the finished work. And thank you so much for watching.